news and also looking at how these elections, or what do these elections actually mean for a country like Kuwait and for the people of Kuwait, Ibrahim.
These elections do show a level of discontent in Kuwait, at the leadership of the country. There's been a few corruption scandals. There's the income disparity that we receive in the Kuwait is a very rich country. In looking at the bigger picture of these elections, they don't mean too much in the sense that the Amir appointed 15 of the 16 ministers, including the prime minister. What has happened is the Kuwaiti parliament is one of the more stronger in terms of that it's fully elected and it gets the power to dismiss the cabinet. What is happening in recent years, every time the Amir decides that this is not working and the parliamentarians are becoming too loud, too assertive, he calls new elections, and that's happened about 4 times in the past, 10, 15 years. So, it does mean something in the sense that it shows like the gauge of popular sentiment and also Kuwait has a very free media and free criticism and that. But in the bigger term, the Amir still holds most of the power in the country.
Ibrahim, the question is, why hold even an election or have an elected parliament where you have a situation where the Amir has extensive powers and can do as he pleases, to the extent that even dissolve the legislature at the recommendation of the government?
It's just trying to provide the illusion that people have a chance, to vote for anything. So even in one party states, in Egypt, for example, where there really is only one party and one presidential candidate, they still have an election. In Syria, they still have an election. So it's about it's the whole idea of trying to provide or make people, have the illusion that they actually have a say in governance. And so in this sense, election actually is part of the problem, not part of the solution in that.
Ibrahim?
Yes, yeah. No, I said, so in that sense, the election is an illusionary exercise. It's an exercise to in a sense, to scare the people into believing they have a say in governance. And that's why we see, for example, a presidential election in Egypt where Sisi gets 90% of the vote, or election in Jordan where the seats are so highly changed so that the monarchy still has the main say. So these are how elections happen in many autocratic states. And have happened since the 90s because, people believe elections are good and governments think that by allowing people, some rights, it may mean that there'll be less pressure on them.
Yes. Now, what we've seen also, Ibrahim, is we've seen mainly media in the mainstream making quite a huge issue, a massive issue about these elections that have taken place in Kuwait, and they're talking about the opposition that make gains, and also at the same time the whole question surrounding women and women candidates. And we've learned that of the 29 female candidates, none of them has been elected.
Yes, it's quite. It's not a surprise. It's something that is occurring in the region, specifically in Kuwait. And as the current Kuwait ambassador once said in a very good explanation, it's actually because the vote in Kuwait is sometimes segregated. It's actually the women that are not voting for the women candidates, and you'd think it would be the other way around. So. It's a thing about societal change. Societal change happens slowly and over periods of time, and forcing the change actually leads to a backlash. So you have to, it has to be something that maybe a quota system would work in such an electoral process. But in terms of actual votes, there were 32 women who ran, and none of them won. It was only male candidates that were voting.
Well, definitely. Now, obviously we know that there are people with different political views in Kuwait. So that is quite diverse from a political perspective, a political ideology, And also at the same time, when one looks at organizations like, for instance, the Ikhwan, the Muslim Brotherhood, and although they are linked to a party which is called the Islamic Constitutional Movement, they've won a few seats. We've heard about Shia minorities as well. So we've got quite divergent and diverse views, political views, and political affiliations that are also playing out, and one needs to take that into account as well, Ibrahim.
Yes, yeah. The same thing with Kuwait. So even though the elections or very little in terms of governance, it means a lot in terms of public position and public perception and the ability to put processes and platforms on the ground. And that's the thing. So the Kuwaiti legislature is very independent in that sense. But there is very limited freedom of there's a very wide range of freedom of speech. There's no arrest, and there's a limited of political closure. And so yes, it allows for this plurality of views. And from the Allied Party got 3 seats, and the Shia party got about 6 seats. Now, I think the significance in Kuwait is that Kuwait, unlike the rest of the Gulf or much of the Gulf, sees its Shia population, the minority, as part there's actually a benefit, and the Shia population are actually closer to the leadership than in many other countries. So that's the one thing. And two, in this legislature, I think the big thing is, we just recently had a change in leadership in Kuwait. Sheikh Sabah, he left it to passed away about half of the last and is now the mayor. So, this is in a sense, one of the few times where the election may have a bit more, but there's something that, if you want to be guided by a different or move into a different path, this provides you some ammo to do so.
Mm. And just as far as political parties are concerned and how political parties operate in Kuwait, now we know political parties are obviously banned in Kuwait. And when one looks at all these candidates that have been standing for elections, many of them are actually standing up in their individual capacity rather than representing political parties that have a certain ideology.
Yes. Yes, no, it is different in that sense. But even in Iran, for example, there isn't real party. They stand in the individual capacities that, on a certain ideology generally formed. So, in our sense, in practical sense, it would be interesting to see how this works in the next election when independence came down along. And, how the ideology versus party affiliation influence voting behavior. But in Kuwait and Iran, they look at the individuals, but also because the system is a bit more open, the ideology is seen as well.
Well, Ibrahim, Jazakallah for that and for your time with us this morning on Salam Media. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, and Jazakallah.
Ebrahim Deen joining us, and he is a senior researcher at the Afro-Middle East Centre, and this comes with Kuwait, who have just had their elections, their parliamentary elections, and it's been big news in the mainstream media. But the key question here is it an election as a way we truly understand elections and how elections operate? And we know in Kuwait with political parties that are banned, and although we find a parliament that has the power to vote the prime minister and cabinet ministers, the Kuwaiti political setup means that this is not easy, and power is concentrated still in the royal family, with the Amir who has the power to choose the prime minister and 15 of the 16 cabinet posts. Now that says a lot about democracy in some of these countries. The time is heading around 10 a.m. We're heading for the news at Al Ansar. We come back, we're still talking about Nelson Mandela Bay. We've got Islamic Relief South Africa. Also looking at the matrics who have been told to rewrite the leaked papers, but this decision has not gone down well with many organizations and teachers unions.
I'm all grown up now, and it's not too late. I'd like to put a smile on your face every day.